Martin Bashir.
Now, to Twitter has long been regarded as inconsequential chatter about trivial things. But it's become serious business. People are tweeting, as they call it, from the floor of Congress, from Oscar parties, even from the Nightline offices. What is it? Well, I don't really know because I don't do it. But for John Donvan, it's a sign of the times.
It's as easy in practice as a stroll through nature, this thing called Twitter, but explaining to someone what the Twitter experience is like, that is a lot trickier. And so from the top of a hill, I pulled out a phone and typed out these few words: "Tell me what it means to tweet." And then with my thumb I pushed send, and then it happened. Oh my God. Wow, a Twitter moment, like touching the mind of the universe. Okay, actually there's not that much drama involved with Twitter, but Twitter is an authentic phenomenon that is getting even bigger, even faster. Like this big. Last night, during the president's speech, people were sending Twitter messages from the floor of Congress, his audience. Last week, Marc Jacobs' fashion show. So many people there were sending tweets, that's what a Twitter message is called, that the New York Times commented on it. And last month, when that plane went down in the Hudson, the first photo to travel the world was taken and flagged by a Twitter user who happened to be nearby. So big, so fast, but so difficult to explain if you haven't tried it, as even Twitter's founders, Biz Stone and Evan Williams, acknowledged when we spent some time at their San Francisco headquarters a few days ago. Why is it so hard to communicate something that then turns out to be very easy to do?
Well, I mean, I think that's just actually the root of that. I think is a product positioning thing, and it's something that Evan and I have been talking about.
It's also one of those things that's very experiential, where you can explain to someone, well, you enter what you're doing, and you can hear from your friends and what they're doing, but that sounds rather mundane.
So, what are you doing?
In other words, you really have to try it. And the mechanics are actually even simpler than they sound in the 2.5-minute What is Twitter video that the company has posted on its website.
Thanks to Twitter, it's possible to share short, bite-sized updates about your life and follow the updates of people that matter to you via the web.
It explains the basics. You send out a message 140 characters long that answers the question, what are you doing? And people who want to get an answer to that question can sign up to get your response either in a text message or online. Those people who sign up for your message are called, curiously, followers.
The thing that I like to think about in my head when I think about it is the idea of, you know, a flock of birds moving around an object in flight. It looks very choreographed. It's rudimentary communication that's happening in real time between individuals and allowing them to move as one in this beautiful way. And I think that's the communication that you're talking about that we didn't realize we needed until we had it.
Okay, if that doesn't clarify, real-life example, last Thanksgiving. This had started to happen in Mumbai, India, the attacks. But before it really got to the news, the folks at Twitter knew that something was up because they can track up to the minute the words that are getting the most use by their Twitterers.
And on that day, it was at the end of November, so it was a lot of Thanksgiving, turkey, that kind of stuff. And then I saw Mumbai, and I was like, what significance does Mumbai have to Thanksgiving? I couldn't find any, so I clicked the link, and I just see all these craziness.
In fact, the messages were coming from India and from all over the world, relatives checking up on relatives, or just people who were following the news. There were even Twitter messages coming from inside the hotel as the terrorists roamed those hallways. That was a very big day in Twitter's history. Its short history, launched less than 3 years ago and housed now in what is still a quite small space. And the tour that Biz Stone gave me took only about 45 seconds from one end to the other, and there are only about 30 employees. Twitter was easy to overlook as something trivial, a bulletin board for people who wanted to post what they'd eaten for breakfast or the color of their socks. Which, of course, you can do if you want to. And, in fact, Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill, who has taken to Twittering for her followers from Washington's corridors of power, admits to a little tweeting of that sort.
Well, I do it to kind of say what's on my mind and to give people a sense of what I do every day, and even some personal stuff, like, you know, I went off my diet and had chocolate mousse.
Isn't it presumptuous to think people care what you're doing? It's actually less presumptuous than bumping into a friend and telling them anything, because they have to sit there and be polite. With Twitter, it gives you...
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. You can turn it off.
Anyone can turn it off.
This is Dom Sagolla. He is not with Twitter. He works down the road at Adobe, a man of many interests, including skateboarding. He's writing a book about his Twitter experiences in which he argues that having to say something in just 140 characters, that's a new kind of literature.
Your ability to express yourself is pretty laid bare. And I've struggled really hard with a style that is both expressive, but you know, unique, and it is recognizable out of context.
What has really caught you by surprise that you, that you didn't see Twitter actually doing or making?
Well, there's been a big shift, I would say, over the last few months. The original idea was more, I want to stay in touch with this person I know. And now it's, whether it's an event or a concert or where gas is during a shortage in Atlanta, people are finding ways to organize using Twitter and using the search function to say, okay, who else is talking about that? What are the opinions?
Then we all took a little tweet break. Slightly strange, as we all sent out messages about what we were doing at that point in time. So I've just tweeted that you guys say that if all of Nightline's viewers, which on a good night are like 4 million, were to follow me, that your system could handle it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? It's like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, follow me, my people. Just kidding. Tweet. Are you making money yet?
No. No. Not anything meaningful.
What we're seeing with Twitter is that people are, in general, good, and they want to do good things, and they're making good things happen, and they're using our tool to organize these great things.
So there it is, and if you still don't get it, well, you can just try it. It's pretty simple. By the way, in answer to my hilltop question, what does it mean to tweet? Now, from you, I have some answers. Some little birdies told me. Tweet.
Our thanks to John Donvan. And apparently my co-anchor Terry Moran has amassed quite a Twitter following, so perhaps this story will help John to catch up. As for me, I prefer a fountain pen. And when we come back,